Now up is Daniel Medrano, a senior from Chinkapin Prep. He will be presenting his talk, Game Over. Let's have a big round of applause for Daniel.
Hi, my name is Daniel Medrano, and I'm going to be presenting a documentary that I'm going to be making about the effect of video games on youth. It's called Game Over. However cheesy that may sound, that's the name of the documentary. So why am I doing this? Obviously, video games have a really big influence on our society. We have a bunch of kids playing video games, like Jay McGonigal talked. And quite recently, there's a movie that I watched this last weekend. It's called Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know how many of y'all have seen it. Yeah, awesome. And it's about video games. And so you can obviously see that video games have some role in our society. And so we can talk about the good effects of video games. We have video games that can help people for therapeutic purposes, like people using the Wii as a way to help soldiers with post-traumatic stress disorder, to help them calm their nerves and help people who might need the therapy. And they're getting the therapy that they need, they're getting the exercise that they need without knowing that they're getting the therapy because they're so immersed in the game. And so another thing is the bad effect of video games on people. So we have little kids playing these extremely violent games, bloody, all these kinds of things happening before they're supposed to learn and before they can really differentiate between what is really happening in life and what happens in the virtual world. And then we have things like, we have mixed up effects in games like Tetris. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with Tetris. And we have this effect that's not really expected because one, yes, it helps you. It helps your organization skills, it helps your spatial memory. But I've also found out that there's this thing called the Treacherous Effect. It's a medical condition that after playing so many hours of a game, specifically Tetris, which happens a lot, you begin to be seeing Tetris pieces everywhere. And you get this OCD kind of feeling that you want to arrange everything. And when you close your eyes, you start seeing Tetris pieces falling, and you start to fix them up in your head. So there's obviously something happening here. And so I play video games. I play a lot of video games. And growing up, I played video games like Reader Rabbit, Math Blaster, and these are all educational games. I played these on the computer, and I thank my mom for letting me play these games because they showed me a lot of things that I wouldn't have known without playing video games. So it made learning fun. And that's what I think video games are. It's a way of learning without really knowing you're learning because you're so immersed in it. And the other thing is I also played violent video games. I played games like Mortal Kombat, Perfect Dark, 007, and I like those games too. And they taught me things. Granted, different things, but I learned nonetheless. And so I decided to look up, what are people playing? What are kids my age playing? So I sent out a survey, and I wanted to get some feedback on it. And although, however good I thought the results came up, a lot of people didn't seem to agree. This is an anonymous survey, and I got a lot of responses, good responses, bad responses, but overall it was, this survey sucks. And so I kind of tied this to video games. I tried doing something, but I failed. And so I was given another chance. Just like in video games, you're given another chance to do things. You lose a life, all right, continue on with it. And so what I did is I came out with another survey. I don't know if it did come up. And I came up with another survey, which is a lot more refined with the help of people, of anonymous people. So if anything, all of these results that I had gotten were from people I didn't know. And a lot of these people were willing to help me. And they were willing to help me understand what I needed to do in order for me to be a good presenter and a good surveyor. And so I got a total of 222 results. You can check them right there. And it helped me. It helped me understand what people were playing. And I got a lot better feedback after refining what I needed to know. And you can actually check out the survey at tinyurl.com/gameover-survey. Hopefully I remember that. If I don't, I won't be offended. And so I got a lot of results. I got a lot of things that I really needed to know about some of the games. And I know that the video game market right now is dominated by shooting games and rather violent games. And that kind of helped me because, I mean, I kind of knew that, and seeing these results helped prove the fact that these games are very prevalent in today's society. So, two of the most popular games that I found were Team Fortress and Call of Duty, both games that I play. And after watching Jay McGonigal's talk a while back, I decided to test out her theory to see, are these games really helping us in the ways that she's talking about? And so I got these two games, Call of Duty and Team Fortress, and I really looked at them a lot more subjectively, a lot more thinking about what they really mean. So these two games, they're both shooting games. They're very popular shooting games, Call of Duty in most game systems and Team Fortress in the computer system mainly. So first I looked at Call of Duty. I looked at what is it that people do in Call of Duty. Obviously it's shoot 'em up games, but I looked at the more rewarding side. And so they have this individual reward in Call of Duty that however many hours you play is represented by the awards that you get. And how good you get is represented by these awards. They're called prestiges. And it helps players understand that they're getting better as a player and they're learning something and they can, I guess, show it off. And this pushes more people who don't have those prestiges to be better. And you have leaderboards, you have all of these things that show people what they want to be. And although there are cooperative ways to play this game, a lot of people play mostly the single player, and and I'd like to also talk about the other side of this, which is a more collaborative game called Team Fortress. And so this game is built around the idea that you can only get to your goal if you rely on other people and trust other people to do their job as well as you do yours. So here we have this guy called the heavy weapons guy. He's a big guy. He runs slow, he packs a big punch, but as well as he has his strengths, he has his weaknesses. And so we have other people right here, like the engineer. He's not supposed to really move around. He stays in one spot, he builds machines, he builds things that dispense health, dispense weapons, he builds robots, all of that stuff. And he has his role, the same way that people have roles in their society, because nobody can be the best at everything. And then we have the true defenseman, the medic. He doesn't attack. Well, you can attack him, but his point is to help your teammates. You have no attacking role. You help out everybody else, make sure they do their job as well as you do yours. And so these are two different games that may seem similar superficially because they involve gore spattering and shooting, but they have very different roles. One teaches you how to collaborate and how to work as a team, and the other one, like Call of Duty, shows you how to be a better person more individually. And so I'd like to talk about how these games are being shown a lot to kids, and a lot of kids are playing it. And I'd like to make it very clear that this isn't exactly a game that you want your little 6-year-old playing. You wouldn't want your little kid learning how to work as a team by blowing other people up. So teamwork it's a big part, but you wouldn't want your kid playing this. And we have a lot of kids playing it. And I believe that's also a problem, because we're having kids play these games, but they're learning the right things, but not exactly when they're supposed to. And I see a conflicting good and bad side here, which a lot of people might seem that's kind of the core of games. They help you in a lot of things. They help you with hand-eye coordination, how to respect yourself, how to be better, the best person you can be. But you also have negative games that make you more violent, that do a lot of things. And I guess the really last thing I want to talk about is, remember, video games are fun. I can stand here talking about the negative effects and positive effects of video games, but in the end, games were meant to be fun. They're meant to spend as a pastime, but they can also be for learning. It's a learning experience as well as you play. You can have a party and you can play Guitar Hero, Rock Band. You can play all these games that help you link, have stronger bonds, just like Jane McGonigal said. You can weave a social fabric through games. You respect people through games. You understand people through games. And with all of this, you can see that games really do have a huge, huge, huge role in society. When teenagers hang out alone, what do they talk about? They talk about lots of things. But one thing that you see a lot is video games. Oh, did you see the new game that came out? This, and that. And so one thing that I want to leave y'all with is, when you're playing a video game, don't just think about how fun it is. Think about, what is this teaching me? What have I learned by playing this video game? And what am I going to do after playing this video game? How am I going to use this and integrate it into my own life? And that's all I have. Thank you.